So now you can't get around that. We needed somebody to come and give us guidance. This is why Christ had to die for us. Because why? We constantly sinned and sinned and sinned and sinned against the Most High on just all levels. We took the priesthood, the Levitical law, and we made mockery of it by willingly committing sin, knowing all we had to do is sacrifice an animal for forgiveness. This is the reason why Christ had to come and die for the world. But what world is it talking about? Because when you look in the dictionary, the definition world has many, and I mean many, definitions for it. Over 12, 13 definitions. So now, which one is it talking about when it says God so loved the world? See, the problem with the so-called black man is, either the so-called black man, he's a mama's boy or he's a slave. He's either a slave to his mother, a slave to his woman, or a slave to the white man. The so-called black man can't put his trust in the Most High like how he should. You know why? Because the so-called black man is a coward. That's why when you check out these churches on Sunday, all these brothers are following who? Their woman. You understand? And in turn, they're being controlled, by their pastors. And in turn, their pastors are being controlled by who? The so-called white man. Because the so-called white man is telling them what to do in these churches. Once they get that 5013C, I think it is, or 31C, something like that. And it tells you that once you start dealing on certain levels, they want to know what you're teaching, how you're teaching it, and they want you to incorporate these nations into your doctrine. Okay, but the Most High is not dealing with these nations. And it's sad because, our brothers, if they had a choice, if the Most High said to our people, look, I'm going to give you a choice. You gather up all your people only and come on and I'll save you. Or you gather up all the whites and the blacks and all the whites and all the other nations or if you try to gather up all the other nations, what I'll do is I'll destroy you. Our people would rather be destroyed. Why would they rather be destroyed? Because we love the white man so much. We're so dependent on the white man and the other nations. We'd rather die. Our people would rather die and not be saved than be saved as one nation and not have the white man come in with us. That's the slave mentality of our people. See, the white man took the chains off your legs and put them on your minds. Now that he's put them on your minds, he's got you every way possible. That's why now, in these last days, everybody's not going to be saved of Israel. 2/3 of our people have to go because 2/3 of our people have that slave mentality. But let's move on. So let's not get sidetracked. So now it tells you that the Most High, he's only dealing with who? The nation of Israel, of all the families of the earth. This has been like this since the beginning of time. There's always been separation. The Most High, people say, oh, y'all are a hate group and this and that. And, you don't preach love. Truth is love. Because I'd rather be told the truth instead of being force-fed lies. Because truth is important. So you can say we're a separatist group. Well, God is a separatist. And think about it. If God wasn't a separatist, then why did he divide all the tongues at the Tower of Babel? It was never meant for nations to be together from the start. Because the Most High, he did what? He did something called division. He divided the nations, but he divided them in a peculiar way, a special way. And we're going to read about that. This is Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. Deuteronomy 32nd chapter and the 7th verse. It says, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, and thy elders, and they will tell thee. And this is concerning what? When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. So each nation, initially after the flood, they all got an inheritance. They got land, they got their riches in their land, they got their little power structure set up, things like that, and they got their gods and their language. That's an inheritance. So it says, when the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, who were the sons of Adam? Noah and his sons. Because when you check out Noah, Noah is a 10th generation son of Adam. So Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Read Genesis the 10th chapter. This is what the Most High is talking about right here. It says, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So he gave everybody their land according to giving the children of Israel, the blacks and Hispanics, the fat of the land. And when we get back into our homeland, which is Jerusalem, okay, Palestine, okay, which is now called Israel, we get back into that land, okay, that's the fat of the land. That's the most beautifulest place on the earth. Jerusalem is the top city on the earth. But that's our city presently being occupied by who? Demons and devils. Because if they were really the chosen people, like it tells you in Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, peace will be all throughout this earth. But peace isn't throughout this earth. Righteousness will be established. But righteousness is not established because they are not the Lord's chosen people. The so-called blacks and Hispanics are. Okay, because it tells you when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Isn't the so-called white man in authority? The so-called Jews, they run this earth. But are the people rejoicing? No. You still got wars going on. You got rumors of wars and things like that. So they can't be the chosen people. So now the question is, who is the chosen people? You are, you so-called blacks and Hispanics. You are the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh. Okay? And until you get yourselves right, we're going to stay in this condition. But you know what? The Most High is raising a few good men. Okay? He's raising a few good men, and he's going to bring us back and put us back on top. So that scripture in Proverbs, the 29th chapter, can be fulfilled. So, because when the righteous are in authority, all the earth is going to rejoice. Because we'll be in our rightful rulership. Okay? We'll be in our power structure. Okay? So it says, I'm going to finish reading this in Deuteronomy 32, verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So the children of Israel is the sands of the sea. Think about that. You know, we are a great nation. We are a mighty nation. So, and it says, for the Lord's portion is his people. Now, who's the Lord's portion? It says Jacob is the lot of his inheritance, or the cord, meaning the extension of his inheritance. So you have to understand these things. You know, the Most High is only dealing, even though we're hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious, arrogant, pompous, whatever you want to call it, okay? Even though we're all that and we're wicked as hell, the Most High is still doing what? Choosing the so-called blacks and Hispanics. He just gonna spank us up a lot. He's just gonna afflict us a lot until we get it right. Until those 144,000 and one-third are caught up. That's what's happening. So now, from there, I just want to touch on a scripture that's always brought out, especially in the streets. John 3:16. You know, a lot of people try to, they think we're afraid of. No, it's nothing to be afraid of, because the scripture is a great scripture when you know who it's talking about. That's the thing. The scripture is a great scripture when you know who it's talking about. When you know who it's applied for. And we're gonna go into it, and we're gonna examine it, and we're basically gonna, we're gonna basically, how do you say it? We're gonna give you a little bit of understanding on that scripture for a lot of those that don't know what that scripture really means. So we're gonna go to John the 3rd chapter and the 16th verse. And it says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So now, what people always say, oh, God so loved the world, God so loved the world. And they say the world means everybody. This is what people say, according to what they think the scripture means. And, if I didn't know the Bible, I would think that same thing. But for all those people that think that this is talking about the whole entire world, meaning all races, you got another thing coming. Because if the Most High so loved the world, the entire world, here, why in John the 17th chapter, and we're going to read it, the 17th chapter of John, in the 9th verse, Christ came back out of his own mouth and said this, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. So how is he going to love the world in one verse, and then in another verse, he doesn't even pray for the world? So how could he really love the world, the whole entire world, all nations, if on the other end he's not even praying for the world? Kind of makes no sense, you know. So now when you check out the word world has over 12 or 13 different meanings, and the brother, he'll put up all the definitions for you. But the definition that it's talking about is a particular people with a manner of or society of people with the same customs. Okay, and that society of people with the same customs, that world that it's talking about, is the world of Israel. Like how if you watch National Geographic or one of these shows, dealing with the earth, they'll say, "Welcome to the world of China." Now, the world of China has nothing to do with the so-called black man. That's the Chinese man. Or they'll say the world of Japan, which are the Japanese. The world or the Arab world, right? Now, the world that the Most High is talking about is the world of Israel, and we're going to prove that. But even when you watch like some of these Animal Planet shows and some of these National Geographic shows, they'll say, "Look, welcome to the world of tigers, the world of lions, okay, the world of this." You know, brothers on the corner fighting, you know, what does he say? "Look, man, if you don't get out of my face, I'm going to rock your world." You understand what I'm saying? So, it's like, what world is the scriptures talking about? This is what we have to find out. So now, we're going to go to 2 scriptures, okay? Actually, before we even go to them 2 scriptures, let me just show you what we mean about that word world. Because we showed you that it may appear to be a contradiction in John 17:9, but it's not. It's definitely not. It's just that people lack understanding. And the people that read John 3:16, they hate it when we pull John 17:9. You know why? Because they are not knowing the scriptures and what that means in John 3:16 or John 17:9. And they also are when I pull this scripture out. This is Hebrews. Okay? Hebrews